Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Neese. We have seen one whale of a turnaround in our weather over the last week. We had the big storm system that created the tornadoes across parts of Texas and severe weather across the deep south, and then a lot of wind for the central plains and also the eastern part of the country. That system continues to push out. We still have some wind advisories in effect for the northeast, but that system will be out of everyone's hair here soon. And we're going to see relatively calm weather for much of the country, although the exception will be the deep south. We've got a couple of systems that will be rolling through areas from eastern Texas into the Gulf coastal states, and then another big system is due for the Pacific West as we go through the upcoming week. And it still looks like the weather pattern as we go through the rest of March will be more active than we have been seeing. But first of all, here's the watch warning map across the country. And again, we do have that area of wind advisories for the northeast, and then we have a collection of winter weather advisories, watches, and warnings for snowfall across the central plains back into the Rockies. In the Rockies and some of the higher elevations, there could be some pretty heavy snows, but fortunately, it looks like overall, especially for the Midwest and the Great Lakes, the warnings that are out now, not nearly as significant for of a storm that we've seen earlier in the winter, even just in the last 10 to 14 days. Here's the way it looks on the computer models forecasting what's going to be happening. And let me show you, first of all, fairly calm across much of the country. We have this system rolling through the Midwest from Iowa back into the Great Lakes around Chicago with some snowfall, a quick shot of snow on the 7th, and then across Arizona some rain and snow as well. But again, much of the country fairly quiet. Still windy across the northeast as that big system continues to exit out into the Atlantic. But as we head into Friday night and Saturday, rains begin to break out once again here across Oklahoma, back into eastern Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, and into the panhandle of Florida. Now, there's a marginal risk of some severe weather down along the Gulf Coast with this system, but that's about the only area that's going to be unstable enough to see any kind of threat at all of severe weather. Meanwhile, much on Saturday into Saturday night, much of the rest of the country is quiet on the 8th going into the 9th. As we work deeper into the 9th, this is the way it looks into the overnight hours. That storm system that's crossing through the Gulf coastal states pushes farther to the east, taking the best chance of any kind of storms and severe weather across northern Florida into Georgia, and then exiting as we head into Monday off the Carolina coast into the Atlantic. And again, behind that system, Monday into Tuesday, fairly quiet. One quick shot of rain across Southern California as we head into Tuesday, but a much bigger system comes in on the heels of that. Let's focus in, first of all, what's going on across the Gulf coastal states. Friday night into Saturday, we've got some clouds building, and then as we head into the overnight Saturday, you can see here thunderstorms breaking out. This is late Friday night into the early morning hours of Saturday. This is wave 1. There's going to be a couple waves of thunderstorms with this system. The first wave breaks out during the morning on Saturday from southern parts of Alabama into the panhandle of Florida, southern Mississippi, and also eastern Louisiana. That system sinks down to the south with thunderstorms across parts of Georgia and North Florida, weakening as we head into late Saturday. And then everything kind of revamps. We've got a warm front. That front stalls out and then begins working back as a warm front with more thunderstorms Saturday night into the early morning hours of Sunday. And by the time we get into Sunday morning, a big round of thunderstorms from parts of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, into the panhandle of Florida. More general rains for Arkansas back into Tennessee. Again, the best chance of seeing any kind of severe weather is going to be right along the Gulf Coast where it's going to be the most unstable. And as we head into Sunday night and Monday, that system does exit off toward the east. And once that system is out in the Atlantic, again, fairly quiet. This is Tuesday morning into Wednesday. Much of the country is fairly calm. A little system starts to zip across parts of Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee. This will be just rain, no chances of any kind of severe weather with this system. This will be during the overnight Wednesday night into Thursday the 13th. Here's our next system moving into the west coast of California. This system is pretty wound up. It's got a lot of moisture with it. Therefore, we're going to see some heavy rains, Central California into Southern California. You're going to have to watch out for flooding and mudslides here. Some locally heavy mountain snows with that as well. This would be as we work through Wednesday night into Thursday. That system goes into the Rockies with scattered areas of snow. Meanwhile, the east calms down as we head into Friday. Now, this system will be reforming out over the plains into another big system that kind of looks exactly like what we just saw this past week. And this is for Sunday, Saturday night into Sunday, the 15th into the 16th, a big potential wind maker through the Midwest into the eastern part of the country. And we're going to have to watch for some of these thunderstorms to be strong to severe. Again, this is next weekend, the 15th into the 16th, but a lot of time to go. Not clear exactly how everything's going to be developing with that. Certainly we'll keep you updated. Here is your quick shot of snow from Iowa into parts of Chicago as we work through the day on the 7th. Again, it's a pretty fast mover with a couple of inches of snow. On the back side of this, though, as we head into Saturday, cold air begins to filter back in, so look for highs to be in the upper 30s and low 40s across this region from Chicago back in through the rest of the Great Lakes, back into parts of Wisconsin and Minnesota as well. 30s for highs here as we go into the weekend with 40s from Chicago down to the south. Now, back to the chance for severe weather as we head through the 8th and the 9th. This is for the 8th. The Storm Prediction Center is putting a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms from eastern Texas into Louisiana, Mississippi, southern Alabama, into the panhandle of Florida. Again, this is during the Saturday into Saturday night. And for Sunday into Sunday night, the best threat of severe weather shifts off toward the east and northern part of Florida. And then that system again exits Monday into the Atlantic. That's the way it looks right now. Fairly calm for much of the country with just a couple of periods of storms across the deep south, and then that big system, that will be the highlight as we go through the next week coming into the California coast and the West Coast from Tuesday into Wednesday and Thursday. Well, if you are interested in formulating your severe weather safety plan for your family as we go into the tornado season, make sure to check out this video and also check out my YouTube shorts. That's where I have a lot of fascinating tips on tornadoes, but also lots of safety tips as well. See you next time.